The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 392 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. I'm going to call this one Legends Never Die, as our one and only Carlos Vela has hung up the boots officially and become an ambassador for the black and gold. So yes, the man will be around. He just won't be on the field. That seems to be the plan going forward. Definitely, we're going to celebrate his efforts for our club today. And of course, we are going to get you ready for the Club World Cup play-in match. 7:30 p.m. kickoff on Saturday on DAZN. I know, another format to watch. I guess it's free if you register, so that's good news. It's on, guys. It's definitely happening. All eyes on us. Not a bad place to be. Of course, to make this happen, we've got Tony and we've got Araceli. And Bam, waiting in the wings. Once he's ready technically to go, he will jump on as well. And so we will have the full squad ready for this thing. I'm going to go to you, Tony, first. I know you've got a million things going on. How you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty well. Doing good. I'm a little nervous, of course, at a big game, as we all should be nervous. Because as the moment right now, we are not the hottest team out of the two.
I mean, yeah, they just lost in a cup final, and we struggled to draw in Montreal. We're not the same at the moment. That's for sure. But hey, home cooking is home cooking, and LAFC is a different club at home. You all know that. Now, Araceli, I know you've been everywhere doing everything, busy as ever. How have you been?
Oh, I've been really good. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy, but I'll just summarize it by saying life. But otherwise, no. I mean, been doing well, and glad that I'm able to make it tonight to talk a little LAFC footy with y'all.
There it is, and it's a good one to talk about. That's for sure. Like I said, the two biggest news to really cover. I know we played Montreal, we'll cover that, but it really is Vela, right? And the story of Vela at the same week that we have this massive match that might well be the biggest match we've ever had as a club, because it's what, a $10 million match. I mean, we've never had a moment like this where this much is on the line and the world will be watching. Quite literally, we're there. It's different. This is a very different energy. You feel it. It's a good time to be involved at LAFC. Yes, highs and lows, matches won, matches lost, too many drawn, but you're still in the moment. That's what matters most. Tony, how are you feeling after the Carlos Vela news?
Bittersweet is the best way to say it. A club legend for sure for our club. And then, of course, myself with the national team and everything he's done there. It's not the way I thought he was going to go out. Of course, maybe one last hurrah. When he came back and got subbed in, who knew that was the last time we would see him in a LAFC uniform on the field, on BMO, and getting the round of applause. But with everything, he's the reason why most of us came to LAFC. He was the star that brought us here. Yes, there has been bigger stars that have with bigger names, like from bigger clubs that have come in, but he was our first captain, or not our first captain, our first superstar, then became our captain. He took us to, again, the accolades can speak for themselves: 2 supporter shields, a MLS Cup, Golden Boot, US Open Cup. So he left with the mindset of bringing in trophies, and he delivered on that.
Exactly. Didn't matter if he scored in the big game, but he got us there. And he was also a league leading scorer. He got the record for that as well for a single season. He always there, right? And the first big star to take a chance on us, and that does count for something. It's huge. It's huge. So we will always be grateful. I would have preferred to have that moment where you knew it was his last, right? The goodbyes were a little bit different. We didn't really get that opportunity. We will get a send-off day, right, in September, but not a send-off from where he's walking off the field for his last minutes. So it's something I think we wanted a little more, right? And we've talked about this. Should have been treated a little bit different, but here we are. And at least we know that he will be a brand ambassador. He will still be representing the black and gold in a different capacity. But yeah, the moment is a little different than I think anybody expected. Araceli, your thoughts on the career of Carlos Vela, especially with us, and kind of the way we're at right now. And yeah, how are you feeling about the whole thing?
I mean, I have to admit, I'm a little indifferent on it. I do agree with Tony that I wish I could have seen him gone out on a better note, despite all the criticisms that we've shared in the past year, 2 years at this point now. But I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's done a lot for the club. Definitely very grateful for him. Always been a fan of him, even back when he was in the national team. And even to a certain point, he was, in a way, our introduction to LAFC and helped launch the careers of a lot in the soccer community, myself included, being, a sports journalist at that time. So we've seen him do a lot of good to, certain degrees off the pitch and on the pitch as well. But at the end of the day, um, like I said, I just wished we would have seen him have a better send off. But he is going to be the club ambassador. What that's going to mean going forward, I'm not really sure. Yes, we're going to see him again in September, but I don't know. I don't know if this means he'll be around the club more or if he'll just be called in when needed. But either way, it was good while we had him.
Right. Are we getting the Jordan Harvey treatment or are we getting the Magic Johnson treatment? Right? Like big game, Magic's in town, right? Or is it Jordan Harvey like, I'll run a clinic. Let's do a lot of clinics. Let's do, where is he going to be at? Somewhere in the middle. But yeah, we're hoping for more. We want to see him more. I think that's something agreed upon. Now that he's back in the mix, Tony, are we getting a statue, man? You think it's going to happen?
It's gonna take a while, but I think it's the right person to have a statue with. Like, I don't see anybody else in our history that deserves a statue for what he's done for the club, the longevity and everything. It wasn't a one and done, so I think he for sure deserves a statue.
There we go. I'm all for it too. I mean, again, you're the first. I know he wasn't the first captain, but the first star, right? And eventually the captain when we won. And that to me is enough right there. He took his chance on us. He didn't have to come here. He had his options, right? He chose to make this a move. He chose to take on a leadership role and develop into that. And we saw the fire that he brought to this team. Definitely. And the other thing you look at is the way the players have reacted with the news, especially the younger. That's what I was like, the younger players, like a Dwayne Yass, who's not with the club anymore, but the reactions and everything that I get from the player reactions is they're gonna miss him dearly, right? That was the vibe. They are thankful to be able to be under his leadership. That's what I'm seeing, and it's pretty uniform across the board that from star players to younger players, there was a level there of respect, communication, love, and so that's what matters most, right? What do these guys do on the field, whether in the locker room? And you could tell the vibe was right. The vibe is right. So yeah, we'll celebrate him in September, and hopefully it's after we get to play in the Club World Cup, and maybe that's when we're going to see him too showing up. Again, hoping for the best here, but yeah, all love to Carlos Vela. Win a little different than expected, but that's kind of his vibe too. But hey, he's back in house, and that's what matters. All right. Well, I'm not sure if Bam's gonna be able to jump on. Is he good? Green light. We're gonna Bam on here. Here we go. Welcome, Bam. I know I wanted to ask you about Carlos too before we move on to the next segment. So you have the floor, sir. Your thoughts on Carlos Vela, the news.
I'm glad he's going to enjoy retirement. Should have done a lot earlier, in my opinion, with all the toing and froing. Is he coming back? Is he not coming back? All that kind of stuff. Honestly, after he won the championship, that's when he should have called it then. But wishing him all the best for his future retirement. Good luck with all the coaching clinics, and let's see how it all goes.
Imagine that, a Vela clinic. It'd be pretty fun, gotta say. No, again, happy. We're all happy, I think. That the closure is now here, right? We move on and we have this big match with the new faces and really the new chapter. Now it feels like a new chapter fully. So,
I did see that
go.
he did post a while ago that he's going to be running a clinic.
There it is. Oh, yeah, I did see that. That's just really cool. Yeah.
In Glendale and Long Beach. So if you register at carlosvelasoccercamp.com, you can go and do a soccer camp with him.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, it's good news. That's for sure. All right. So we got that good news. We will talk about Club World Cup and all that. We did have a match this weekend. It wasn't the prettiest thing, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. Yeah. Falling down early, getting a draw, kind of an interesting energy, I'll say. Lineups. Let's just get right into this thing. Basically, the 4-3-3 like we always do. In this case, up top was Bouanga, Ibobase, and Ordaz. Midfield was Igor Jesus, Delgado, Amaya. Long and Segura anchored the back with Palencia and Smolikov on the outsides. Lloris was in goal for this match, so a little bit of a modified lineup, but this group of players has performed well in the past, so you would expect a good performance seeing this lineup. Didn't quite start that way, did it, Tony? You want to go with the highs and the lows for this bad boy?
Yeah, again, last place of the Eastern Conference, and we have nothing to show for it but a point. Spoiler alert, because again, I don't know what happened in the first 6 minutes. In a very kind of jumbled, frantic defensive presence until Giacomo got the ball and puts it away close in. We're down 1-0, and then in the 22nd minute, after a penalty fouled by Bouanga, Prince puts it in. We're down 2-0 in the first 25 minutes. We're already down 2-0, and it's like, how do we start like this? Again, it's not about we do this against Carson, last place team in the MLS. Now we do this to the last place team in the Eastern Conference, who are battling with Carson for the wooden spoon. Sorry, not golden, wooden spoon. And we can't even get a point. We're in fourth place. Yeah, but it's like nothing going forward to it until the 38th minute, when Delgado, from a pass from Ordaz, nice streak down the way, not with some pace, finds Delgado. Delgado puts enough pepper onto the ball to hit the keeper and it bounce in, redirect, and we're down 2-1. But it's just a lot more questions going into the half after that.
Yeah, not good, not pretty. Rough start. Again, the two worst teams in MLS, and that's the teams you're struggling against. It's a weird place to be in, that's for sure. Now we move on to the second half. A little bit of a different tale, right, Tony?
A little bit, still the same. We are missing our opportunities. Hollingshead gets subbed in or into the 46th minute, and Amada comes out, and Ioboa comes in as well. And it's not like we were not trying for the ball. It's just they're parking the bus. They decided, we're going to try to get these 3 points. We need these 3 points for whatever momentum they can get. And it wasn't until the surprising one of all, and the 2 substitution of Giroud coming in and Under coming in, and Under finding a good pass, trying to find Bouanga, Montreal's defender, ricochets off, and Giroud finds the back of the net. Maybe because of the French connection in Montreal, and he loved the French weather that could simulate that. He put the ball back in the end. It doesn't matter. We go in, he scores, and we ended up going 2-2, dropping another 2 points with the momentum of, okay, tied against last place team, tied against the second place last team. And now we have to go play against one of the, if not the biggest club in CONCACAF for a spot in for Club World Cup.
Yeah, form is not there. We know that for sure. You gotta get it right real quick here. That's for sure. Not playing at the level. But again, you didn't lose them, but man, that's a loss of points for sure. For sure. Bam, your thoughts, one about the form in this game, compound it with the last game. How are you feeling right now? It's a little weird, isn't it?
Gotta apologize to begin with, but that was fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. Going down so yes, playing Carson, it is Carson. We're always they always step up to play us. We don't step up to play them. So drawing there, it is what it is. But going to Montreal, the worst team in the East, how do we let them get not only an early goal, but 2 early goals? What the hell is going on with the defense there? Do we just decide to not rock up? Do we just decide to go, let's give them a head start, see what we can do? This is a team that got spanked by Toronto. We can get 1 point off them. It was before, and I said this in one of the group chats, if they had scored that third goal early on, I was turning it off. It was horrendous. It was plainly horrendous. And I'm normally bubbly, bright, and going, awesome. You know, we can get this, this and that. I don't know what we're going to do. Going into this big game, I honestly don't know what we're going to do. We need to do something to get the psychology into these players of rocking up on time and playing on time.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like we're sleepwalking this year. Just another game, another check of the box off the schedule. It's okay. We're gonna keep going. We'll get there when we need to get there. To the point of being almost neutral. And the reactions after seem the same, right? No drama. We'll move on. We'll be fine. Oh, I don't get it. It's a weird energy. That's for sure. Araceli, outside of the performance, looking at the latest results, how concerned should we be right now?
I don't think we're exactly at that level of being overly concerned. I mean, obviously, we are concerned to a certain point, because I will say for that match itself, I did not have a chance to watch it because I had that day off and I took full advantage of it, just being honest. But looking at the final result, I wasn't really surprised, considering those are the type of results that we've been getting since practically the beginning of the season. So hopefully they're able to get some type of results moving forward. I don't know if it's because of Sharundolo leaving. I don't know if there's a player change coming for the summer window or what is going on. But considering everything that's coming up this summer with Club World Cup, possibly Leagues Cup, and so on, I don't know. I honestly don't know what needs to change, but hopefully something does soon.
Yeah, it's a rut. It's definitely a rut. Tony, watching this as it goes, I know you were just as livid as us. What's wrong? What do you think it is? Why is the energy this way?
I guess it goes back to the person leading, the pilot of the team. It goes back to Odolo. He's checked out. You know what I mean? You can hear it in the post game, pre games. Like, there is a little bit of still some get, but I think it's just the lack of. He knows he's leaving at the end of the year. He's given up on everything, and it shows. It's almost to the process of, like, trust the process, but his way of saying it is more of like, we learned a lot from this match and we can grow from it. Again, like I said last match, you can only say that season 1, season 2 when you're still learning the team, but you've already got 4 years into this with the core group that you've had for most of it. And if you can't figure it out and nothing's working, then just leave, put Rossoff in there. When we had Rossoff there, it seemed like the team was playing at a different pace, a more passionate player. You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying to give Rossoff the head coach for the next years and anything like that. It's just leave it to him. Go be with your family. Go back to Germany if you would like, or stay here in California if you want to stay the rest of the year of the season. But, just kind of give up the reins to your assistants to let the run, because at this moment in time, you're not doing well enough for the fans and the supporters. Because again, as you would know, as Bam would know, this type of attitude wouldn't fly in Germany. This wouldn't fly in Australia. So just because you're in America, it's okay. Like, granted, we're still a growing league, but I feel the passion's there where you should care about what's going to happen. You should care about the thought process of fans. But that's, again, on him.
This league has been growing since I was in high school. So there's that. I think it's grown up. I like when you say the term growth, because it's like, well, when you grow, doesn't that mean the next time out you learn from the past mistakes and don't repeat them? Like dropping a goal early in the first half. Yeah, it's off, man. It's very, very much off. And yes, the Razov interviews after were very different energy than what we're getting from the current head. So yeah, and then your job as the manager is to get the very best out of the talent you have. I really don't think this is a talent issue. Am I wrong in that, Bam?
I don't think you're wrong in that, but at the same time, I don't think you're not too wrong either. It's the talent issue for me is more, there's great talent there. The issue is they're not firing.
And
That's
whose
where,
job is it to make them fire on all cylinders?
exactly. Even then, you look at some former great talents that we've decided to pick up that has done what?
Score a lucky one. Playing a good cone. A cone could have got that one. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, there it is. It's just underperformance. And now you're here. Now you're playing a team that's pissed, right? They lost a cup final over 2 legs. Yeah, right? Revenge on their mind, no matter who they play against. This is what we're dealing with. You better wake up. All right. Speaking of teams that are waking up or trying to wake up and get it moving as well, there is LAFC 2. Been an interesting vibe so far this year, right, Araceli? What is going on with these guys?
I think saying an interesting vibe is an accurate statement for this team, at least right now. But LAFC 2 is actually going to be having one of their biggest tests this Sunday, in my opinion, as they host the Town FC at Titan Stadium. It's a 7:00 kickoff. The game will be streamed on Apple TV if you're unable to make it. But I call it a big test because currently the Town is in 7th place, unbeaten in 5, whereas LAFC is just behind them in 8th place. So if they're able to win this match, that could potentially be a game changer for them to not only have a chance to climb up the standings, but just, I don't know, being able to take down the Town. It's just a big deal, essentially.
We don't have a good history on taking on the Town, do we?
Not currently, but if they're able to, it will make waves.
It needs to be. Yes. Let's wish this one through, right? Get that result and move on from there. All right. So again, check it out, guys. 7 p.m. kickoff Sunday. So hopefully we'll be in a celebratory mood. Watch the boys play on Sunday. That's the vibe I'm hoping for. That's for sure. All right, moving on forward. I do see some comments from the faithful, so I do want to get to you guys. That's why we're here, right? Let's see what you guys have to say. We lead into this. Dave, first post, says it's one day closer to Club World Cup. Hopefully, right? The Carlos Vela account. Thank you, Black and Gold family. I love y'all. I deserve my statue. I love that. Didn't want to retire. It's Steve's fault. Yeah. Gotta remember who does the hiring and firing, everybody. It ain't Steve. So it's not like EAFC manager, guys. That ain't the vibe. It's a different thing. Let's see. It's Jibble says, yo. Dave says the Montreal clawback was painful. Felt like we dropped 2 points, not earned one. Right. Dave also says this Club World Cup match is going to be very tough. If the lads are able to perform, not just show up, then we have a chance. That's what I'm saying. Oh, this is interesting. Q says, Araceli, how's the Panameño forward doing for LAFC 2? Seems a defender getting a lot of playing time.
Assuming that he's talking about Kira Walters, I believe he has seen the field a couple times this season. I would need to double check on that.
Okay. So great question, Q. We'll definitely get back to you on that. Yeah, man, it's on. I know he's ready for this weekend. That's for sure. All right. So the comments we have now, add some more as we continue and get into the previews. Yep. So let's move on to some community news. Tony, what is going on in the LASC community?
Pretty much the tailgates. It's the best way to say it, but I want to go with more of a community bulletin to everyone who listens to our show. And if you do listen to it, just spread the word. Is be careful. This game is going to be very passionate, is the best way to say it in the correct terms of world. So with very passionate fans on both sides and very passionate supporters on the other side and our side, don't walk alone. Make sure if you can get a parking pass. I know it's expensive, but that expense on the parking pass is better than the bill that you might get if you get caught in the wrong situation. And again, this also goes up to make sure you are hydrated well, drink responsibly, and watch out for each other. Tie your scarves, make sure everything's okay. But other than that, on the bad part, on the good part is tailgates are going happening. We're gonna start at 9 o'clock, and we're going up until the game starts, which is around 7:30, and then the show starts, and the show must go on, and then we might for sure get a little visit from our favorite president of the football world,
Gianni Infantino. Yeah. Trying to will Cristiano Ronaldo in our direction. I think that's hilarious. But yeah.
Oh,
that.
I have to say this because it was the most. So on one of a streamers, my iSpeed show, if you all know who he is, he explained how iSpeed was asking how Barcelona was not in the World Cup, the Club World Cup. We finally got a definition of what the requirements were for, and you also realize it wasn't their best. You also realize they were broken for a certain player. The requirements to get into the Club World Cup is the last 4 years, you had to be the best team in your league. Finals, appearances internationally, everything like that. Now, saying that, with that logic, I'll go to Araceli first. Who in the MLS has had a good 4 years up until this year?
Why do you guys gotta put me in the hot seat, man?
Oh no, I'm just asking who has been good in the last 4. If you can answer this,
strongest side over the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
Oh man, you're gonna have to come back to me on that one. Sorry, I'm researching this one.
It's not us. It's
not
us.
us.
No, I know that.
No.
Okay.
Not us.
A team that claims to be black and gold, even though they don't wear any gold. Just gonna say that right there.
True.
Columbus. It's Columbus.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that feels raw on this, that feels like done bad, it has to be them. Am I wrong? Tony, is that the one, right?
It's either them or us, because
Yeah.
we've done the same that they have. Champions finals twice, MLS Cup finals twice again, US Open Cup final, Leagues Cup final. So with that logic, it should be either us or Columbus. And if they give it to Columbus, I would be like, hey, you know what? Understandable. That's the way it fell. If it was us, same thing. But you saw the direction of, then if that is the criteria, then the other stuff that happened for the other team is bullshit.
You mean the supporters shield?
Yes.
In an unbalanced schedule?
Which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but all of a sudden it matters.
That they didn't want to even claim anymore. That one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Salty. Yes, I'm a little bit salty right now, but I'll just say that for right now. I just
when teams don't deserve to be in the show and they get put in the show, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, it's a joke. Let's say it. It's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a competitive tournament. It's supposed to be something where you earn your way. We're not going to add it. So if a team bombs out in qualifying for the next World Cup, but they happen to be really popular, say like England, are we going to find a way to bring them in later? And just come up with some weird reason as why, some legacy thing. It ain't happening. But for the Club World Cup, yeah, we're having fun with this thing.
It happened to Italy. They missed the World Cup. They didn't qualify. They didn't get you're Italy. You're a 5-time world champion. You should get in. No, they had to qualify like everything. That's how it goes.
That's how it works. So, again, World Cup ain't the Club World Cup, and it's showing every chance it gets. So now we're here, right? Now we're here, talking about the madness that is, and we're in a play-in game that I don't even know why we're in a play-in game, because if the team that eliminated you from contention for the Club World Cup is then removed, you would think the runner-up would just be the logical choice. But no, that's not happening either. Again, tangled web. We got to play the so-called number one team in CONCACAF, I guess, over the last so many years. How many trophies have they won over the last 4 years, Tony? You know a lot more.
They
really something.
Yeah, 3. They're back to back, and they're another team that, if you're going to go by region, should be in the Club World Cup. If you're going on your criteria. And this is me not being biased. Yes, I understand the fandom that I grew up with, but again, going with criteria, again, they also have the argument of this. Again, the team that beat us has the argument of this because the owner did not want to fight for them. They wanted the other team to go through. So,
yeah, true. But the ways in.
The way in is this Saturday.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So here we are. $10 million on the line, potentially a superstar player joining the ranks. I'll say that right now. I'm not going to hide from that. I think that we're going to get crazy news if something works out on Saturday. Tony's laughing because he probably feels the same way. But there's a lot going on. This game has a lot of back end. And then the DAZN thing is really interesting too. All of a sudden, a new TV format, that streaming format that's actually been announced for the whole Club World Cup streaming deal. And then this is the preview match for all of it, the tester match, you could say. Man, how made for TV is all of this? Pretty interesting place to be in. So here we go. Now, that being said, has anybody got a song they want to throw into the mix for Vinyl Club? I forgot to talk about that one before we get heavy into this bad boy. Make it official.
I kind of have two, because leading up to what's happening in, I want to say, 24 plus 28 hours time.
Okay. All right.
In 28 hours time, the A-League Grand Final kicks off.
I thought you were talking about.
Okay.
And it's the first time that it's going to be a Melbourne Victory, Melbourne City Grand Final.
Oh. So
they've got a big Grand Final happening this weekend, and because of that, I was tossing up between two songs. Do I want to do the song that Melbourne Victory walk out to, or do I want to do a world famous sports song that was written in Melbourne?
Well, I'm gonna go for the world famous sports song because that's just me.
So at a pub in Melbourne called the Corner Hotel, Jack White wrote Seven Nation Army. So for me, it's going to be Seven Nation Army.
Okay. All right. Seven Nation Army. There you go. Watch Tony throw in some League of Legends stuff just because we said legends never die. But
Yeah.
that one, Tony.
That one. By
I knew it.
what?
I knew it. It was
You knew
coming.
it.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for it.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's if you're gonna call the episode "Let Legends Never Die," I'm going to go with the easy T-ball. Like, the gamer in me was like, easy. That's easy.
He was waiting for this. See, there it is. I tipped the pitch, man. I tipped the pitch. And then he swung for the fences. So there you go, Tony. Which version is the best though for that?
I like the original. The original from
Okay.
from Worlds 2017. Like, I know they did a remake of it, which is still good,
Mhm.
but the original is just hits a little bit harder. There's a reason why they keep playing that one in Worlds. When they play that one, and then Rise as well too is a good one. Again, they've made some. The one I didn't like, which this is a weird part. The one I didn't like from Worlds, I know we're going on a tangent right now, but we'll finish it off, is the Linkin Park one from last year's Worlds. But again, I think that's because more of it's not Chester and it's the new one, and it just doesn't seem to be the same sound. And I'm trying to involve with them and go with it, but it's just what Linkin Park is to us is not what it's moving and going in the direction was.
Agreed. I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm with you on that, dude, for sure. But it's perfect. This is perfect in the lead up to this match. I think we're there. We're definitely there. By the way, Victory better win this weekend. I'm just gonna lay that out there right there. Like, bam, it has to happen, dude. It just has to.
Honestly, it's going to be really interesting. It did sell out. I know the first day when tickets went on for members of both clubs, it was 15,000 tickets sold out in 20 minutes.
Ooh, I like that.
So it's going to be massive. The vibes around the stadium are going to be big. It's going to be an interesting game. See what happens on and off the pitch, to say the least.
Are you gonna be able to go, man?
I've got my ticket for the game. I know a lot of my mates are meeting at the pub at 1 p.m. for the kickoffs. Gates don't open until 6 p.m., but they're all going to the pub at 1 p.m. beforehand because we can't tailgate here in Australia. So we all go to the pub instead. So be interesting. I might put some stuff up on the socials so people can see. But yeah, I know there's already a tifo being approved for the Victory fans. So we'll see what happens there.
Nice. I'm not gonna have you predict this thing because it's a cup final. We all know that vibe. How can we watch it though? That's the better thing. What time are we kicking this thing off?
So it's 7:40 p.m. my time. So that will make it, I want to say, 2:40 a.m. your time, and I believe it will be on Paramount for you guys.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so Paramount this time. I know it used to always be ESPN, and you go to the app. And
yep, I know because here in Australia, Paramount's got the rights to it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be Paramount over there as well.
Cool. All right, we'll be looking 2 a.m, man. 2 a.m. So there it is. Enjoy it if you can, guys. Again, you'll probably be riding a high. Let's hope we're riding a high, following what our club's up to. But there it is. Watch the final. And then we get to our match. All right, let's transition this bad boy. We've been talking about it enough. LAFC versus Club America. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to cover in this match. Again, like I said, 7:30 kickoff. As Tony says, be freaking smart. Don't pull a San Diego, right? Stay away from that nonsense. Focus on the game. Do what you got to do. Look, we've played these guys a couple times. Amazingly enough, we didn't get smoked. All right. Last 2 times, we didn't lose. The one that we did, we got cheated on, right, Tony?
Huh?
right? The one time we did lose to these guys, we kind of got cheated out of that one.
Kind of. Again, that was
Yeah.
What matters, if everybody wants it, the last actual game that mattered, we won. The last couple games were friendlies. Like, yes,
Yeah.
there was some bragging rights at the one when we went to SoFi, because that was the predecessor to the Leagues Cup that we have now. But in actual competitions where a cup mattered, where moving to a next round was the matter, we did win. And again, who led us through there with the episode? Carlos freaking Vela.
Exactly. That was 2020 though, so it's been a while.
Yeah, exactly.
that too. So, all right, now we're into it again. Club America. I think it's a surprise, but they lost to Toluca over 2 legs. Maybe I shouldn't think that, knowing that Mohamed's the coach for Toluca, and we all know how amazing he is. But yeah, they lost in a final. They're not so happy about it. Really interesting. 0-0 at home, 2-0 loss on the road. Yeah, they got revenge. Before that, of course, they took out Cruz Azul, split that series, but still got through on the goals, and then took out Pachuca before that. Yeah, again, cup final, America always in the mix, America always making noise. That's what they do historically. They're the big dogs in CONCACAF. You can't doubt that. That's who they are. They've been that way for a long time, running away with it. The money versus everybody else, it's huge, right? It's Club America. So now we got to play the big face, the face of CONCACAF, as many would say, whether you like it or not. You might dread that, but it is what it is, right? That is the show. Who are we? Well, we're the up and coming team that's trying to become the face of MLS, doing our best to do that. Right? Things haven't gone 100% our way, but we're always in the mix. We're that team. We got to do a little better when we get to the moments, but we are that team that's always in the mix. We're also worth the most in MLS. So, talk about valuation. Well, right? It is what it is. We're playing each other. There's a reason why we are. Now, looking at what they fielded in the last game and how they approached it, they went between a 4-3-3 in the first leg to a 5-3-2 in the second leg. I know, Tony, you know a lot more about them than I do. So I kind of want to defer to you on this one. And I know there was an injury last game, potential injury. So what they fielded last game, I'll talk about the lineup, and then you can jump on this bad boy. They had Malagon in net, 3 center backs, Juarez, Reyes, Caceres. Their outside backs, wing backs were Alvarez and Borja. Midfield was anchored by Dos Santos, familiar face, right, guys? Sanchez and Fidalgo. Up top was Zendejas and Martin. The leg before that, the 4-3-3 was Zendejas, Martin, and Davila as a left wing. Dos Santos, Sanchez, Fidalgo again were the midfielders. Center backs in this case were Reyes and Caceres, with Alvarez and Borja again on the outside backs. So, that being said, I think those 2 legs are probably the best thing to look at to see what could they do against us. That being said, I will say that Toluca played a 5-3-2. They focused on the wing backs in both legs to counter, right? To catch them on the counter. That was the system played, and it worked. So, Tony, you have the floor, sir. What should we be expecting from Club America, and what's the key to beating these guys?
It's the same thing that Toluca did to them. Is speed, wing, the counter press, and everything. Now, mind you, they are a lot older from the first time they won it. Like, we've been to multiple finals, and now it's the age is finally catching up. They still do have a young bench, as we know one of them. We've seen him play. Yeah. He's developed a little bit better. But in order to beat them, and there's a lot of mind games going on as well, too, at the moment right now, because they like to play that. But also, Henry was hurt. He got off in the first half. So haven't seen any news of him not playing or injury reserve or anything like that as well. And then the other thing off the field is the goalkeeper was in the news about a potential, again, the team did come out with that it was all false, but there was a domestic abuse going on. So that is also going into the head, mostly coming forward. Now, America is no joke. They know how to show up to these big games. They always do. It's the reason why they've gone to, 4 championships in a row, beating a Cruz Azul, which honestly they should have lost to. They had the better team. And again, Toluca had the better side. Yes, the coach is a legendary coach, winning with 4 different teams. But America still put up a great fight. You know what I mean? They almost ran away with it and scored a goal at Toluca in the first 25 minutes, if I remember right, watching the game. And unfortunately, they ended up losing, couldn't get the 4th, and now they come into this game wanting to prove who they are and with a chip on their shoulder.
Oh yeah, and they do feel they belong in this tournament. There's no question. I know the quotes they made. Oh, the other team should have been there. They got eliminated, right? Because of their ownership. We don't agree with that. But if we're gonna be in it, we might as well play in a competition. That was the quote, right? Like that. The mind games, right? Well, should be the other guys. But if we have to, it's a good thing we're gonna play a competition. Of course, that was also followed with, hey, they shouldn't play in their house. That was the other vibe. So the Club America tangled web.
Yes, just so everyone knows about that, Rose Bowl was taken, SoFi was taken. Carson I didn't want to, I think if there was a game play on, but also they didn't want to give America their home stadium for the day. Again, that's there where they usually play home. And then for some reason, I don't know, the Coliseum was not up for grabs and available to play in. I don't know about that. Not in the works for that. Pick it up with FIFA for that. So that is the reason why it was here at BMO.
Yeah, they tried to make more money, guys. How would they not want to try to make more money? It didn't quite work out. So here it is in our house. You know how we play there. Advantage us. Let's be honest. We play good at home. We just do. We do. We know how to step up when it's our house. We've played them in our house. Right? I mean, we know what these guys are. We know what they do. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. They are the favorites to win it, even though they're in our house because of, look at how they perform. But it all comes down to this. It's on. It's happening. Now, how are we going to approach this? I think that's the bigger conversation. We've seen multiple lineup switches. We've seen what we think's the best switch to something else. We've seen great performances, and we've seen a pair of duds. Let's be real. The last 2 were duds. So which LAFC is going to show up on the day? And I think that's really going to be the story of this game. Because if we don't show up, this is going to get ugly real quick. If we do show up, we've got a fighting chance is the best way to look at it. So I'll go to you, Bam. I'll go right to the elephant in the room, the area where we're always running into the questions. The top 3. We know we're going with 3 up top. Who are you choosing for a game of this magnitude?
For a game of this magnitude, and going by what Tony said, the main thing is for speed. At the top, I'm going to go Bouanga, Martinez, Ordaz.
The kids. Okay.
Kids with speed, and that can
kids
do
with
stuff.
Speed and they're chippy too. Don't forget that too. It's a good one for this series. All right, so that's your top 3. Araceli, who are your top 3 for this one?
I agree with Bam. Going with the kids. Throw them out in the mix.
There we are. And Tony, knowing that they're talking speed and looking at the backline that Club America actually features, that does play to our advantage to have young, speedy players up top, right?
Yes, but I'm kind of going to change it up a little bit and go Ibobise in the middle and have Ordaz and Bouanga. Save save Martinez for the second half to have that extra, youthfulness, that extra energy, because again, America does have youth on the side as well. Not we have younger, they still have prime-ish people, and it's that
Prime.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're in their prime. I'm kind of in your camp, Tony. I know Martinez, firecracker, but man, if you say we get one early, holding a lead, and Martinez is the guy to come in to counter, man, that's a huge advantage because they're gonna have to take risks at that point. They're gonna have to take risks to move forward. So I'm kind of with you on this one. And Ordaz, let's be real, he's been performing every time he's been in the lineup. He's doing the job. He keeps doing the job. If he had a more famous pedigree, there would be no question as to whether he's in the lineup or not. The performances have been there. Now, looking at the midfield situation, I'm figuring Delgado is a given. Delgado's in the lineup. I think Igor Jesus is in the lineup. And Tillman, I know the interview wasn't that great today, guys, but Tillman's probably that guy. See Tony shaking it. Tony, what did he say today? We'll just throw it out there because we can't stay away from this.
He said the same thing he said last time we played Monterrey or Tigres.
Yeah. He hasn't learned yet.
If you guys want to listen to it, it's a good episode. It's the Give and Go pod. Tillman's on there. It's a pretty decent, but he decides to say the same thing
This last time. Yeah.
as last time. So, yeah.
Yeah, but see, the
Freaking me
problem is
out.
though,
Yes.
from everything I'm seeing, Tillman's not back until mid-June.
No,
He's out
Tillman's he in the interview he said he felt an injury. That's why he stayed back because of the big game that's coming up Friday. So that's why he didn't play in Montreal.
So he's saying he's ready?
Yeah.
Well then.
He's saying he's ready. He's saying he's ready. What Bam is saying could be 100% right. But again, from his words, from his mouth, from his voice, from his lips, he says he's ready.
Could be true. Could be gamesmanship. I mean, LAFC gamesmanship. That would be nice. Some gamesmanship. All right. So I go to you, Bam. If he's ready, does Tillman get into this lineup, or are we looking for Amaya in this? Or somebody else.
If he's ready, the big question is, if he feels he's ready and he starts and he goes down within 10 minutes, is it worth it? That's the big question. For me, I think it's more... I want to start Amaya. I would probably start Raposo.
Interesting. Okay.
I'll start him because Amaya, he was okay last game, but I think give Ryan Raposo a crack and see what happens. And then I'd rather sub out Ryan at half time than have to sub off Tillman after 10 minutes.
Interesting. Araceli, your thoughts on the midfield?
I feel like Tillman's going to be a big gamble, so I would start with Amaya and bring on Raposo in the second half. But, I mean, Igor and Delgado, I definitely can see them starting.
Yeah. I have a feeling that one, Tillman isn't ready. Two, Amaya has experience against these players, against that league. He knows what to expect. He understands the dark arts involved. And so he would fit into the vibe, fit into the energy that's going to be in this type of a match. So I'm thinking Amaya might be the guy. Tony, if Tillman's not ready, is it Amaya?
Yeah, I go with Amaya. Again, there's a reason why we brought him in. He, again, chalk this up to maybe head up the front office. Maybe, and they were thinking about this. Where did we get Amaya from? Liga MX.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's getting himself into. He knows how to play this game.
Yeah, because it's a very different energy than what all of us are used to seeing. I guess, again, that connection between MLS and Liga MX. I know we watch Leagues Cup, but that's fun and games, guys. This one's going to be different. The energy is going to be different. The dark arts will be very real. Players need to be very careful in this thing.
Would you consider putting in home?
I think in the second half, I would think second half for him. Starting is going to be tough. I mean, again, he played in one of the toughest leagues in the world physically. He did do that. He knows that stuff too. He took a beating for that, but yeah, we wouldn't shy away. That's for sure. So again, we have some grit players that can get into this mix. So, all right, we go to the back line, and lately it's been what? Segura and Long. We got Marlon hanging out, right? I think he's available. I'll go to you, Bam, again on this one. Who are your center back pairing for this?
For this, and because it's Liga MX, Long and Marlon.
Nice. Araceli?
I say, yeah, Long and Marlon.
I'm with you guys. Tony?
It's gonna be Long and Segura.
Yeah, I fear the same. What we want and what we need this season has gone begging. So, yeah, I get it. Segura's had his moments. This is gonna be a little hard ask for sure. But I have that same fear you do, sir. Let's hope things are different. Now, outside backs, I don't think there's going to be a debate here. Hollingshead on the left, right? Has to be. Palencia on the right. Has to be. There's no... The one guy this year that's routinely provided that edgy stuff, the stuff that gets under players' skin, it's been Palencia. He's jawing at everybody. When you watch these games where we need a little bit of rough stuff and dark arts, I'll say it again and again and again, that guy has it, and he knows how to get away with it. And sometimes he gets an early yellow, but in most cases, he gets away with it. He's been good at this year. So I think he's got to be there. I don't think there's any question. Anybody else have a debate on this, or those are outside backs? Who's in on this? The heads.
I hope there are outside backs. I hope.
There we go.
I do have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm hoping for that pairing as well, but I do see that Smolikov, is that how you pronounce his name?
Mm-hmm.
That he started in the last match. How did he perform? Not good.
Well, we didn't turn things around until after he got taken out.
Enough said.
Sorry, that's just what's happening. There's some experience issues, I'd say, at this stage. He's still catching his own feet at this moment. So he has moments, definitely, but consistency has been a battle, I think, this year. I'm right in that assessment, right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the assessment. Yeah.
100%.
So he'll be featuring in the next match, I'm sure, as we recover from this one. But experience wins the day, I think. All right. Now, I do see some comments from the faithful. Let me get into this. Let's see. Q says Columbus should be mad at Miami last year. Not all of a sudden mad at us. They can sleep on that one. I don't think they're mad at us at this. I think they're mad at that one. Let's see. He also says technically they won like 6 trophies, beat Columbus, Tigres automatically won other champions. Yeah, so there you go. Q's asking about team to cheer on. We know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go with the sports watching city groups, up to you.
There you go. Oh, Gomez, good junior. Thank you for the update. The updates. Apparently, it's not DAZN. It's DAZN. All I know is it's a paywall that features a lot of combat sports. That's pretty much what I know about this channel. Am I wrong? Like,
no, they do a lot of that, but also it's DAZN, and they have actually purchased the cable TV channel Foxtel here in Australia, so they're running that now. So
interesting. I don't know how that's DAZN, but okay. See a D and then A is E and an N. Okay, cool.
Henri.
Q Cardi says Tillman is reversing the curse. That's why he said it. Genius. Q also says, wait, isn't Amaya a Toluca player?
Yes, he is.
Was. Well, yeah, he is. He is, right?
He's on loan.
Yeah, he's their guy. So, hey, good luck, charm. We'll take it. Right? Yeah. He gets a piece of Club America as well, and yeah, he'll probably be in the lineup, guys, just because of this. Just the vibe. So there we go. All right, guys. Thank you for the updates and comments. Love it. Let's show up and make this thing happen. So on that note, we've hit our hour mark. That's right. We're closing this bad boy out for another episode. So it is those final comments that we always do week in and week out. I'm going to start with Tony this time. Your final comments, sir.
Final comments is, for the first part, is be responsible. Get there early. Get the parking pass. I know it's expensive, but if you're going to and you want to be safe, that price is a lot more than what the other bill, the hospital bill, might not happen. You might get lucky, but if it does, it's a give or take. Drink responsibly, have fun this weekend, and then I'll get into the best part, the part where I need to get into. Win or lose, we support our team 100%. Yes, we're frustrated with the coach. Yes, we're frustrated with the play on the field. We're frustrated with everything. But at the end of the day, we have to go full 90. And what I mean by full 90, and I'll repeat it so everyone knows, is full 90 from start to finish. No phones, no selfies, no nothing. It's straight. We go hard and do that. I rather set the example. Don't be the exception. Just because you've been here longer and you think you can get away with it, don't. Set the tone for everyone and move forward. Because at the end of the day, treat this like it's the MLS Cup. Treat this like it's a Champions Cup league. Because if we do this and we win, there's going to be some nice away trips to the East Coast with bigger clubs. And we don't know how we will perform. Maybe if we win this, maybe this is the jumpstart to turning our season around. That final push. And who knows? But again, if we do this, there's a lot of things that could happen and a lot more intrigue to bring players to our side. Yes, the conversation is, you all know who it is. It's Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. Would I be happy? Yes, if he was one of my favorite players growing up, watching the Premier League and everything, and following him to Real Madrid, all that stuff. But that's not just him. We can bring other players who want to play in the Club World Cup who couldn't make it because of their teams. This could be the opportunity that, again, the door's not closed yet with Gearsman, so this could bring him in. We can bring in another player that's still available. So again, go full 90, be the example, not the exception. Be off your phones, start singing until the end of the days, and be responsible at the end of the night, and make sure you tie your scarves and walk in groups at the end of the night.
Leave nothing behind. That's essential. That's for sure. Well said, Tony. And yeah, that Ronaldo thing, I'm kind of leaning that way. Again, you get a 10-day transfer window that opens up right for the Club World Cup. You can bring anybody you want, right? Whatever you can afford. A lot of teams are going to be spending some dough to be ready for this thing, including us if we get there. And again, there are some interesting faces available. We'll say that. Next one I'm going to go with, of course, is Araceli. Your final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me before I get into my usual home match spiel. I just want to go back and answer Q's question very quickly on Walters. He has made 10 appearances, 4 starts, and scored 1 goal so far this season. Now on to the spiel. As I've always said in the past, with any home match, please don't be stupid. Always have a game plan, a second option, whether that's Uber, a family member, a friend. This is a very big match because I can tell you from a league perspective, and having been part of many meetings this past week, it is a big topic of conversation. All eyes will be on it. And ultimately, like Tony was saying, treat it like any other major matchup. Just go in there, support the team, have fun, of course. But at the end of the day, you're still representing the club.
Right. You're the face of the club. This is built off of the supporters historically. Everyone needs to be a supporter for this one. Everyone needs to show up. Araceli is on point. Show is here. Own it. Own it. Bam. Going to you, sir.
For everyone going,
Final thoughts.
Everyone going to the game, be safe. Don't be an idiot. Don't drink and drive. Look after each other. Protect your scarves. If you don't time around your head, time around your belt, time around your waist, protect them. Don't go looking for trouble. Obviously, trouble might come looking for you. Protect yourself, but don't go looking for trouble. It's not worth it. As I said, league will be looking at this. The world will be looking at this. Police will be everywhere. Security will be everywhere. They tell you to move. Don't argue. Just move. It's not worth the arguments and that kind of stuff. And yeah, as I always say every episode, mental health matters. Look after each other. If you do need to reach out, especially in the LA area, you can call, text, or chat with 988. It's the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. It's their hotline. Call them. Reach out to people. Reach out to friends. Reach out to family. At the end of the day, it's just football. Family and friends matter more. So keep an eye out for each other.
There it is. We have, and I'll double down on what Bam is saying. We have a huge opportunity here. We also have a huge amount of risk walking through that door. We can be a group that builds our club up in its potentially highest moment, or one that falls for all the nonsense and brings it down. That's where it is for the supporters right now. We saw what's happening in other places. Yeah, the eyes are everywhere. And it's not going to be just diehard football fans backing this thing. This is the world watching. There's a lot of people that are going to be tuning in. It's a huge, huge match. So yeah, on our end, cup final has to be treated like a cup final. This is where we're at. Winner takes all, $10 million and more. It's huge. So rise to the occasion. Make every bit of noise you have. If you're not coming out of this thing with a voice that's completely thrashed, ask yourself why. Because this is your time. This is the time to get crazy with this thing. You will be challenged. There will be moments, I guarantee, in this game relating to the other fan base that might go a bit out of bounds. They have a history of that. Be smart. Use your head. Stay in groups. Go old school. Tie those scarves. Think of the older days where it's less secure. Do those little tricks, right, to get home safe. At the end of the day, that's essential. But while you're in there for 90 minutes, from whistle to whistle, bring it. Make it happen. And I think I'll leave it at that. So on that note, final word, Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Sally.
Stay golden.
Bam.
I'm on the victory. Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.